Yo. Episode 135 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA. He is kind of like SG Trilogy. Hold on, let me fix his name. Yeah, he is, but I'm gonna give him the @ sign. And we are back. It is, like I said, episode 135. Definitely glad to be here. Glad to be checking in with you guys. How you doing over there, sir?
Great. It's Saturday morning, and I'm excited, man. We have an earlier show this week, and we're going to condense it a bit, but I'm happy to be here to rock with you, man. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. I definitely appreciate you asking. I'm excited too, and yes, we're going to be a little abbreviated today, and we are earlier, but we're about to rock. So let's just start off. Why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on all the DSPs. And we are happy that you're here. We have a saying here at the Collective Podcast that Saturdays are always best when you connect with the Collective Podcast. And there are various ways of doing so. You can go to our official website, which is the collectivepodcastofficial.com. On Facebook, we are TC Podcast Official. And on YouTube, Twitter or X, and IG, we are TC Pod Official. On IG, he is AC from LA. And yours truly, I am SG Trilogy. Good morning.
All right, boom. And here are our topics today. NBA, we're going to go with NCAA, women's hoops, then men's hoops, and then dive into the culture, tech talk now, and then close out. So we are going to pack every minute with information and fun, and then we'll see where we land at the end. Fair enough? All right, here we go. All right, we're going to let Samuel Gardner III, SG Trilogy, start off with the association. Hold on, let me cue you in real quick, my brother. Where you at?
New SG Trilogy.
All right, take it away.
As we talk about the National Basketball Association, the NBA is just coming off of its All-Star weekend. Last weekend was a star-studded weekend in Indianapolis. And the things that stood out about All-Star Weekend, just wanted to touch upon a few of said items. So first and foremost, we talked about it and we touched upon it last week. Growing up, one of the highlights for All-Star Weekend was indeed the slam dunk contest. And it was always star-studded with the likes of Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, all of the high flyers of that time. So now you fast forward 30 plus years, and the dunk contest has become something in which you don't really see many stars participating in the dunk contest. And that kind of gives it a lackluster feel. You're talking all stars, so you would expect to see some all stars participating in it. And this year, there was one all star who participated in it, but had a subpar performance in the form of Jaylen Brown. And the winner, now back to back winner of the slam dunk contest, the NBA slam dunk contest, was Mac McClung. Most of you are probably like, who? Who? The interesting thing is Matt McClung is in the G League, and he's not currently on an actual NBA roster night tonight. So most people don't know him. And a lot of the dunks that he performed this year were the same dunks that he won performing last year. So that was subpar out of the gate. As it pertains to the three-point contest, I think the three-point contest is what it is. You know, you see guys that are out that can get buckets. Karl Anthony Towns is always impressive to me, being a big man who shoots threes in high volume. But he did not fare as well as he thought he would, and we were able to see Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard was able to hold it down yet again, and he's become the back-to-back NBA three-point champion. And then you fast forward to the actual All-Star game, in which defense was an option, and no one opted to play any defense. I am happy that it has returned to the East-West format, because I think the East-West format, having grown up on that, You always want to see who's the best, the East or the West, and not just Team LeBron versus Team whomever. So in the East-West format, the East was victorious with a score of 211 to 186. Once again, I flash back to the
What?
80s. What? You look, I flash back to the 80s when the games were actually semi-competitive throughout, and then once it boiled down to the last 5 minutes or so, they were very competitive. I think the highlights for me of the All-Star game was Dame Lillard. Yet again, he pulled up twice from half court and drained them all net, and he ended up becoming the MVP. So he had a trophy-winning weekend in terms of winning the game, since he is a member of the East now, his first year as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks, to win the three-point contest and win the MVP of the All-Star game. It was great for him. But outside of that, man, I really don't know what the NBA is going to do. I know they're kind of gimmicky at this point, and everything is predicated on points, points, points. But at some point, for basketball purists, we want to see defense. Tony, you know me, man. I always talk about seeing what kind of games: competitive, close
Competitive.
games,
Yeah.
competitive games. And this game was a snoozer, because out the gate it was not close at all, man. So that's going to conclude this week. Now the season has returned post All-Star festivities. I think next week, when we have a little more time, we'll tap into who's gotten out of the gate fastest post All-Star weekend. And yeah, man, we can wrap up our NBA All-Star post coverage here.
Okay. Thank you for that. And I just want to play Usher real quick, so I'm just gonna do that. Oh wait, Rod said something. And when I say Rod, I'm talking about my man Roderick Tennell. Yeah, everyone is shooting threes. Oh, move it back 2 feet. Um, yeah. Would it still be a 3-pointer? Yeah, I guess it would. And when you say that, yeah, it would still be a three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought that the All Star game where Magic returned during
Mm-hmm.
his retirement season was like crazy high scoring, and I think it was like 115, 111. This was like double that, and just absolutely ridiculous. Just absolutely, positively ridiculous. Um, Breaking news: since we're in the NBA, Matt Barnes has been removed as a play-by-play announcer for the Sacramento Kings. He was let go yesterday following events that unfolded at Crespi High School um, 2 weeks ago. Crespi, where his twin sons from Gloria Govan play for Derek Fisher. Look at that triangle. They played against rival Harvard Westlake, and yeah, 300. Yeah, 300 or 50. We'll see. Hopefully they go in a different direction and scoring is real, real, real down, right? And everybody's averaging 8 points a game. Um, he according to reports, he not only got into it with officials, but wound up getting into a back and forth, as he called it, with a Harvard Westlake student doing play by play for the game, and he wound up putting his hand on his shoulder. So he touched him. He touched the kid during.
Allegedly.
Well, he said he did. He said
Oh,
he
he did.
did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going by that part that he's saying I touched him and I shouldn't have.
Okay.
Um, And so it is a kid. So by all accounts, it's a kid. By all accounts, he touched him, and he says that I shouldn't have because it just wasn't a good look. And so the Kings officially let him go. Now he also said, and he talked about this on the Dan Lebitard show yesterday before he was let go. That it all started from bad calls, and he was yelling at refs. He's like, I yelled at refs at UCLA. I yelled at refs for 15 years in the NBA, which is actually 14 years, but I yelled at them. I'm yelling at him as a dad, and I have a 5-year-old on the way. I'll still be yelling at him for several more years. That's not going to change. But then he said, I shouldn't have touched the kid, even putting the hand on the shoulder. So definitely remorse shown, but we are where we are. That's the breaking news from last night. And today and last night are the same for me because I haven't been to sleep. All right, Sam, we're going to go on to NCAA women's hoops. And just in case they don't know who I am, let me tell them who I am because you got your little drop. So,
New AC from LA.
hey, shout out to Kayla. All right. So, on the women's hoop side, this is what we have. This is what we have. Um, so, here's the thing something came out this week, and I'll let Sam talk about it because I don't want to steal his thunder. But something came out this week asking, would you take UConn or the field on the men's side? And historically, you could ask that on the women's side because Gino Auriemma had a really, really, really good run, right? And before that, it was Tennessee or the field. Even though Stanford got two of them early, it was never like Stanford or the field, except for like those 2 years. So they asked UConn or the field on the men's side, and I'll let Sam take it over. But it's definitely South Carolina or the field on the women's side. And hey, I love my Bruins, but I'm going to go with South Carolina. I'm not going to go with the field. Dawn Staley just does an amazing job there. So listen, going into the week, South Carolina remain undefeated at with 25-0 and at 25-0, all the first place votes and obviously first place. Ohio State stayed at number 2, Stanford stayed at number 3, but wound up losing this week to last night actually to Arizona, unranked Arizona. Stanford still leads the Pac-12 by a half game. But Stanford did lose this week. Iowa stayed at 4th, Texas stayed at 5th, NC State stayed at 6th. So that's where you kind of had continuity, the top 6. You had Southern Cal move up from 10 to 7 after a really strong week last week against the Oregon schools, and UCLA actually split, losing to Oregon State. So UCLA dropped from 9 to 12, and with Oregon State losing to USC with the beating of UCLA at the buzzer, they wound up moving up to 9. Virginia Tech moved up from 12 to 8, and then Colorado dropped a bit, and then LSU remained steady at 13. Now, since these dropped, UCLA has beaten Utah, so that's a good start to the week. And then Southern Cal beat Colorado. So Southern Cal is standing strong at 7, and if they can get the sweep, like if they can beat Utah today, no, it's Sunday, it's tomorrow, then they'll probably actually move up. They'll probably move up. If UCLA can get the sweep, meaning they have to beat Colorado, then they'll be back in the top 10, and Colorado's going to drop because that means that they will have lost both. Indiana stayed at 14, UConn stayed at 15. Gonzaga jumped 1 because they look pretty impressive, but they don't have a strong schedule. So 26-2 only gets them to 16. Syracuse moved up a bit, and you haven't heard much about the Syracuse women ever. So shout out to them for like sitting in the top 25 and staying there. And like I said, Utah has already lost one of their 2 games this week after moving up from 22 to 18. Notre Dame dropped a bit. Louisville is dropped to 20. Creighton, shout out to them. We talk about the Creighton men, but the Creighton women have been in the top 25, I think, since week 3. West Virginia moved up. Oklahoma stayed. Baylor dropped a bit, and then Princeton stayed in at 25. Again, they have an impressive record, 20-3, but not a strong schedule at all. So that's why they would be under the likes of Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Baylor. So the most notable movements, I already covered it, but were SC, and then I didn't actually mention Virginia Tech, who jumped. Yes, I did. They jumped up from 12 to 8. And then Kansas State and Louisville dropped. And so it's a really competitive field. But again, I'll take South Carolina over the field this year. As it stands right now, I'll take South Carolina over the field. Damn. That's what I got. You want to talk about the men?
Man, let's hit the men. Let's go.
You want to talk about UConn or the field? Oh, see, can you could do the comments while I'm talking, brother. So like while I'm talking women's hoops, you can show that Roderick is actually talking. So obviously I showed the list. Ohio State is number 2. Right. Ohio. So South Carolina, Ohio State, Stanford, Iowa. Those are your top four, and those are currently your number one seeds. Like I said, Stanford is probably going to drop since they lost to unranked Arizona. And if Southern Cal can sweep, oh my God, they might they might slip into the top four. Probably not, because Stanford's not going to drop that much. But man, all right. So Roderick is leading in, saying take the field over UConn. Let's see what Sam says as I present to you men's hoops. And remember, I got that rundown for you in our sheet. You saw that, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Bam, bam. Take it away.
All right. So as we talk men's NCAA hoops, the reoccurring theme at this time of the year is what? Conference play. And in conference play, all of these teams know one another. So rankings, you can take the rankings and throw them out the window. It does not matter. This week was an example of just that. We had 15 upsets this week in the top 25, with top 25 teams losing, most notably being the UConn Huskies coming in ranked number one. UConn lost to Creighton, was ranked 15. And when I say lost, Creighton put hands on them 85-66 and dominated that game thoroughly throughout, from tip to the buzzer. Creighton dominated that game. So UConn did not look like UConn. From there, number two also took a fall in the form of Purdue losing to Ohio State 73-69. So at this time, we're getting ready for March Madness. These teams are very familiar with one another. And I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. At this stage of the game, it's typically upset basketball. Teams are playing up. They're excited to play these ranked teams with hopes of making it to the big dance. So that's what we saw this week. As we talk upsets, as I said, both number one UConn and number two Purdue lost. Another team that's been on the skids, man, which is kind of interesting because they got out of the gate quick. And I think seeing, who is it? BYU. BYU is a team that has been dangerous all season. But one thing that was notable coming into this week, BYU came in having fallen 6 spots and ranked 25th in the nation. And guess what? I would expect BYU to be bumped out of the top 25 after this week, because BYU lost to an unranked Oklahoma State 93-83. So there's going to be a lot of movement. When you see the AP top 25 next week, there's going to be a lot of movement. I think today's games are going to really make a difference. UConn is headed to Philadelphia to play Villanova. Villanova is unranked, but Villanova is one of those teams that, as you get closer to the tournament, Villanova knows how to win. Villanova knows how to pick apart teams. So although they're not Villanova of yesteryear that was coached by Jay Wright, Villanova can still be dangerous. And if by chance UConn is looking beyond Villanova, Villanova does have a chance to beat UConn today, especially at home. As I said, as it pertains to the top 25, another team that we've seen start to fall apart at the wrong time of the season. This is when you look to get stronger. South Carolina in the top 25 standings. South Carolina fell 9 spots, and they came in this week ranked 20th. So South Carolina needs to shore some things up ahead of the tournament. And from there, today's marquee matchups, as mentioned, you have, of course, number one UConn, who's coming off of a loss to Creighton. They face Villanova on the road. Then you have number 2 Houston at number 11 Baylor, number 13 Bama at number 17 Kentucky. So quite a few exciting games in the top 25 today. And then, of course, I'm going to shout out my Seton Hall Pirates, who host Butler. And then for you, it's that crosstown rivalry, AC. SC at UCLA. What you going to do, UCLA? UCLA has been playing better, but do they have enough to make sure they hold it down for LA? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So if this season has told me anything at all about men's basketball, it's that UCLA men's basketball is definitely better than USC, and Gonzaga is definitely better than excuse me, St. Mary's is definitely better than Gonzaga. So it's an interesting take because I know, like, thank you. So go Bruins, but I'm really excited about St. Mary's and what they're doing in the West Coast Conference. They just they look like they belong in the field this year. They're definitely better than Gonzaga this year, but Gonzaga's won 10 of the last 11 West Coast Conference tournaments. Now this year, St. Mary's is going to go in as the one seed. Will they hold on and get their second in the last 12 years, or will Gonzaga, out of familiarity, win that tournament and get the automatic qualifier? No matter what, St. Mary's is going into the tournament this year, but it would be nice to see them win the West Coast Conference tournament and go in as the AQ, aka automatic qualifier. So let's go back to this. Roderick says that the UConn loss can be a healthy loss. Well, let me say something really quickly because you talked about the actual spread on that game. I want to mention that you go back to UCLA women versus Utah. They put hands on Utah. They beat them by 30. So 82-52 wasn't nothing. And that's why I'm saying if they get this Colorado win, there'll be some nice movement for UCLA up the polls just because they put hands on Utah. Utah is no punk. Now, Utah has been up and down, but they're not a punk, and they got whooped on wire to wire. So Roderick says UConn losing could be a healthy loss. However, and this is what Sam and I were talking about earlier. Like, okay, so with that one wake up loss, do they drop 2 spots? Do they drop 3 spots? They'll be in the top 4. But Sam says if they lose today for the second time this week, what, Sam?
I think they'll hit 10 if they lose today to an unranked Villanova.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
so yeah.
no, and I really, Rod, I appreciate you, man. Um, at this time of the season, also, I get it. Yes, that can be a healthy win because it helps them kick the tires and see where they have deficiencies. But then it also can get those other teams like Creighton is a dangerous team. Great guard play. They have one of the best centers in college basketball right now on the defensive end. And so that can also be a huge win for them because it shifts their mindset. And Coach McDermott has his team playing sound, fundamental basketball. So I get it. Yes, for UConn, it could be great that they have this loss and they have like their aha moment of this is where we need to shore things up. But then Creighton's not that far behind UConn, and that can indeed help propel them as well. So
Yeah.
I can see it both ways.
Yep. Um can kids skip college and go to the G League? Yes, they can, but they're not eligible to get called up to the NBA. So they could play for one of those 2 G League teams where you can't get called up from. And I forgot what they're like Team Ignite, I think is one, and I
Ignite.
forgot what the other one is called, but yeah, Rod. And so this is a funny one. Why did I choose UCLA over SC? Well, I went into college as a sports writer, so or actually as a journalist because my first piece was on Geronimo Pratt. So it's not like they were knocking on my door and giving me money. Like you had scholarship offers, Rod. It wasn't like that for me, but it was simple. SC was not a prestigious university at that point. It had a lot of money, but they're a top university now. But that was a trash school back then. And I'm not. It wasn't even close. I mean, UCLA is still one of the top universities in the country, and by many accounts, either one or two as far as public universities are concerned. We go back and forth with Berkeley. Um, Shout out to my buddy Niall Benjamin, who was my football teammate and who played at Berkeley. So yeah, it was easy for me, even though I rooted for Rodney Peete over Troy Aikman. As I was coming up, when it came time to choose an actual school, my choices came down to Berkeley, UCLA, and UC Davis. So UC Davis was automatically eliminated, and it came down to Berkeley or UCLA. But here's the funny thing: I did get a scholarship to one of the HUs. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not getting into which one it was, and I'm not getting into that whole debate. I did have a scholarship to one of the HUs, but I wasn't ready to move away. I checked on it and I thought about it, and I wasn't ready to go. And look, I never left. So here we are. But Roderick, thank you for that, my brother. We appreciate you. Wow, we are zipping. Is this where we are? Did I ever play Usher?
No, you didn't. You did not go there.
All right, here we go. All right, so here's the thing. HU. Okay, so I'm not getting in this debate, especially as
You
someone
got to go there now.
who didn't go to an HBCU. But okay, so when certain people, okay, when most people say the real HU, they are from Howard University and they're taking a shot at the Hampton Institute University, which at the time was the Hampton Institute. So it wasn't actually even an adjacent HU at the time, but now, by all accounts, they go by HU, even though it's officially HIU. So it's a weird thing. And then they battle back. Howard and Hampton, they were in the MEAC for a long time, battling each other. My scholarship was to Hampton. I did get into Howard, but they didn't offer me any money. I got into Morehouse, didn't offer me any money. Clark Atlanta didn't offer me any money. Tuskegee, I only got money from Hampton, and I wound up at UCLA. So, thank you, government, for helping me get through UCLA. Okay, boom, boom. There you go, Roderick.
HBCU alum. Shout out to Morris Brown College. Bam, there we go.
I did get into Morris Brown, but they didn't offer me any money. Okay, there you go. My bad. I did have a homegirl who went to Morris Brown. She's the one that told me about Morris Brown. I have no idea what her name is, but we went to high school together, and she went to Morris Brown. So she's a fellow alum.
I'm sure I probably know her since we're in the same age group. So yeah.
Yeah, and she was, and I could see a snapshot. She was cute. I just don't remember her name. So
I'll say I know her because she was cute, but yeah, I'm sure I know her.
Wait,
Yeah.
what'd you say?
Look, I'm not gonna say I know her just because she was cute, but I'm sure I do know her. She's from LA and our age group.
Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing when you were in college? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You did not talk to the what you used to call them, Sam? Mud ducks? You did not talk to the mud ducks from LA. You like, I don't know. You like, that's when you were conveniently not from LA. When you saw a mud duck from LA on campus.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm like, no, not quite.
All right, we're gonna get into the culture now. What?
Wow, we're already at the culture.
That's what I'm saying. We are zipping. We're zipping.
Wowzers. Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me play my Usher clip. I didn't play it.
All right, cool. Okay.
You always been a real one, even though we ain't together. It was real love, and maybe it's still love. I hate to be making it to forever.
Only we ain't getting back together. We ain't good, but we still good. All right, that's all. Just wanted to shout Usher out.
Yeah, that's a jam, right? That's a jam.
Yeah.
Does it have any subliminal meaning for any particular reason, or you just felt like Usher this morning?
That's what you want to do. Well, I did just feel like Usher this morning, but I guess since you brought it up, if you take the Usher and Summer Walker verses and throw out the 21 Savage part, then it could be my my ex-fiance and I, Kayla's my daughter's mother. It would define our relationship. Like, we're great friends. Following that, she's family. I'm family to her. And we've moved on, not getting back together. She wishes me well. I wish her well. So yeah, it can apply. Are you kidding me? Okay, we're not doing this. All right. So you gonna put this woman's name on this whole thing? Okay, so I guess we're gonna have an aside here. No, I'm not talking about Rashard. Roderick, are you kidding me? Okay, so let me give you guys a backstory. It's the end of the school year. I get out of school. It's not the last day, but it's the end of the school year. Too soon. It's not Rashard. Okay, you gotta stop. I get out of school. I get out of school at lunchtime. So I catch the bus over to Roderick, because I've now left Westchester and I'm at Fairfax. So I catch the bus over to Roderick's neighborhood, and then we're walking to his house, which is also Marcus. Which is also where Kristan lives. So this is Marcus Johnson's neighborhood. Because we're going to Rod's grandmother's house. We're going to Booby's house. So we're walking, and then we see his homegirl, Robin, who actually at the time is the girlfriend of my cousin Melinda's brother, Torino. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Melinda. Aunt Cheryl usually comes on here. Melinda is Aunt Cheryl's daughter. So we walk Robin home, and there's this girl outside in Robin's neighborhood, and her name is Rashard. So we meet and we click immediately. We exchange numbers, and we're walking back to the house. And since you didn't put it out there, Rod, I'm gonna put it out there. And Rod is like, that's messed up, man. I'm gonna take all the curse words out. That's messed up, man. I was like, what's messed up? He was like, well, you're talking to a whole bunch of people right now, and that you gonna mess with Rashard's feelings because you don't just talk to one person. Now, if I had a girlfriend, I just had a girlfriend, but I was just talking to people. And he said, that's not fair to her. She seems like a nice girl. And I was like, all right, dude. Well, if she wants to talk, then I'll just talk to her because nobody is like really holding my attention right now. So he like changed the whole trajectory of my dating life for the rest of my life because he guilt tripped me into only talking to one person. And then she crushed me. She crushed me. So I'm only talking to her. A la Rod. Yes, thank you, Rod. My memory is impeccable. She crushed me. We start talking, and we're going into summer, as I said. She's on punishment, so she can never hook up. And when I say hook up, I mean hang out. Back then, hook up meant something different before the real world Las Vegas and Irulan and Arissa and Alton changed the meaning of hookup forever in our culture. So she could never hook up because she was on punishment, rarely talked on the phone. At one point, my boy, who was my football teammate, came over to my house and I was on the phone with her. So she was like, well, and he was talking to her in the background. So she's like, well, should I say names? That's okay. Put your boy on the phone. So I put him on the phone. And then he hands me the phone back and he's like, hey, give me your number. And I was like, what? And then she was like, yeah, he's gonna be my brother. I'm okay with that, right? Because I have sisters. So I'm like, okay, cool. Why we get back from school? That was 10th to 11th. So it's 11th grade. And my homeboy Carl Cleary comes up to me, who's from Haiti, who's got Haitian origin. His house was the first time I tried plantain. He says, "Hey Tone, you are you mad at bleep?" And I was like, "Why would I be mad at bleep?" And he said, "Because he took your girl, Rashard." And I was like, "What? This is news to me." I find out from Carl Cleary that bleep took Rashard. So we're teammates. It's a weird situation. Yeah.
This is funny.
Yeah, I'll tell you offline who Bleep is, right? Because I don't want to put his name out there because I got over it really quickly and we are still connected. Like we talk every now and then. I'll give you a name. I'm just not giving the name now. But he went to St. Monica with me. And then he went to the University of New Mexico. And his name is not Al Jones. So that only leaves one person, but people still don't know who it is. So yeah, so let's just say I took a year off after high school before I went to UCLA, and I used to hang out at Northridge a lot because I had people up there. And in a very tasteful way, I got revenge on her, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And so, absolutely not Rashard, but that was fun that you brought that story. You're googling, dude. I could just text me so I can respond in the text. Just text me. I'll respond in the text, right? I'll give you his name, and then you could look him up on Facebook. Okay. Boom! Now we're going to the culture, but we're gonna talk to Ace Hood first.
Loyalty ain't just when it's convenient.
Yeah, that dude Bleep wasn't loyal.
When it's convenient, that's why I said what I said.
Rashard wasn't loyal.
Loyalty. But if he didn't give you that bag, he didn't create that opportunity, would you still be loyal to him? You probably wouldn't. You know what I mean? But it's convenient for you at that time to do so. So you're gonna play your part and play the position.
Play your part and play the position. Don't take your dude's girl. Well, she wasn't my girl if she was takeable. Go ahead, Samuel. Give them the culture.
So as we went off on this eloquent soap opera of what was your teen years, whoa,
Womp,
all right,
womp, 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 womp.
I got to really back in, really back in. So for this week's culture, the culture, I wanted to highlight a couple of items. So first and foremost, here with the culture, we go through music. I try to identify projects that, of course, I like, but then hopefully projects that you can learn to love and enjoy. And if you didn't know about them, great. I put you on some new game. So a few projects that I wanted to highlight. The first two are singles and hip hop singles. And I'm going to pay some homage to the iconic group, and I will still call them a trio, even with the loss of Dave, De La Soul. De La Soul has a single out, which is called Freedom of Speak. We got 3 minutes. And it's a single that is undeniably dope. De La is still on with lyrics. The production is superb. And so I'd say check out De La Soul's new single, Freedom of Speak. We've got 3 minutes. And then the second single, which is also a hip hop song, is called Bodega. And it's by Dave East and Vado. Dave East is a lyricist from New York. Vado really compliments him well. So those are 2 hip hop singles. First and foremost, De La Soul, Freedom to Speak. We got 3 minutes. And then Bodega by Dave East and Vado. 2 dope records that are hip hop records. Now, as we go to a couple of EP projects, Southern California's own Dame Funk has an electronic album. For those of you who know me, I love funk music. 70s funk music, Parliament, things of that nature. Well, Dame Funk is an extension of funk music. And so he has an EP out, which is called Out the Way by Dame Funk. Let's see. Lastly, a project that I also enjoy is by Ye Ali, and it's called Ye Ali and the Chill 3. Ye Ali and Chill 3. It's an R&B and soul project. Really melodic, a real melodic project, which is also dope. So I'd say check those projects out. Next week, I'll take a deeper dive highlighting some of the songs on those 2 EPs, one being by Dame Funk and the other by Ye Ali. I'll highlight a couple of songs off of each project. All right, lastly with the culture, let's talk film. A film that I'm looking forward to seeing, in life. Life can be so serious. So I try to make sure when I'm unplugging from actual just life and focusing on my day to day that I watch comedy movies. And so I'm looking forward to a hip hop story starring the ultra talented Affion Crockett. And so this is a parody film that is paying homage to hip hop. And so that's a film that I recommend you go and check out. You can check out the trailer now. The movie just dropped in select theaters across the US, just dropped yesterday on the 23rd. So go out and patronize. It's a movie that is created by us, for us. And Avion, for those of you who are familiar with him, he's very, very talented. So I suggest going to check out a hip hop story. And this concludes the culture.
Thank you for that. So inquiring minds want to know, you said it's a movie by us, for us. So would that be a new brand called Bufu?
Bufu for you. It could be, man.
Okay.
It could be.
Well, we definitely like Affion Crockett, so we're gonna have to check out good old a hip hop story, the comedy parody. Okay. So this is now going to be one of Sam's favorite parts of the show. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts too, but Sam gets really, really hyped up for this. You gotta love the fact that this is your friend and co-host, because he really does represent for Tech Talk now. Like he gets his Birdman hands ready, and it's a lot. So all right, so here we go. Thanks, Rod, for saying that was funny. I appreciate you. Thanks for rocking with us. All right, so we're gonna go to Tech Talk now. Yeah. So
This is Tech Talk Now.
I love that so much. I really do. All right. So hit you with a little something different this week. We're going to talk about virtual reality fitness, the future of workouts. Welcome to Tech Talk Now. I'm your host, AC from LA. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of virtual reality fitness and how it's shaping the way that we work out. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Virtual reality fitness has exploded onto the scene, offering an innovative and immersive approach to exercise. With VR technology, users can escape to captivating virtual environments while breaking a sweat, transforming mundane workouts into exhilarating adventures. From VR cycling to boxing, the options are endless, providing something for every fitness enthusiast. Imagine cycling through breathtaking landscapes, running along scenic trails, or punching through virtual targets in a high-energy boxing match, all from the comfort of your living room. Virtual reality fitness transports users to dynamic worlds where fitness meets fun, making every workout session an unforgettable experience. The immersive nature of VR workouts engages multiple senses, making users feel like they are truly part of the action. One of the most significant advantages of virtual reality fitness is its accessibility and convenience. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or a beginner, VR workouts cater to all fitness levels and preferences. With a VR headset and a small space, users can enjoy effective workouts anytime, anywhere, without the need for expensive gym equipment or memberships. Plus, the ability to stream VR fitness classes from home adds an extra layer of convenience. Traditional workouts can sometimes feel monotonous, leading to boredom and lack of motivation. Virtual reality fitness addresses this issue by offering engaging and interactive experiences that keep users motivated and committed to their fitness goals. With gamified elements, challenges, and progress tracking, VR workouts turn exercise into an exciting adventure that users look forward to every day. Additionally, the social aspect of VR fitness allows users to connect with friends and participate in multiplayer experiences, fostering a sense of community and accountability. Beyond the thrill of immersive gameplay, virtual reality fitness delivers numerous health and wellness benefits. From improving cardiovascular health and muscle strength to reducing stress and enhancing mental well-being, VR workouts offer a holistic approach to fitness that extends beyond physical exercise. The immersive nature of VR also helps users achieve a state of flow, where they become fully absorbed in the activity, leading to improved focus and mindfulness. As virtual reality technology continues to advance, the future of fitness looks brighter than ever. With new VR fitness apps, experiences, and innovations on the horizon, the possibilities are endless. Whether you're aiming to lose weight, build muscle, or simply stay active, virtual reality fitness offers a compelling solution that's both effective and enjoyable. As VR headsets become more affordable and accessible, we can expect to see a surge in VR fitness adoption, revolutionizing the way we approach health and wellness. In conclusion, virtual reality fitness represents a paradigm shift in the way we approach exercise. By combining cutting-edge technology with engaging gameplay, VR workouts empower users to achieve their fitness goals in a fun and immersive manner. So, grab your VR headset, step into the virtual gym, and embark on an exciting fitness journey like never before. Remember, the future of fitness is here, and it's waiting for you in the world of virtual reality. This has been the latest episode of Tech Talk Now, and I am AC from LA. Thank you very much.
This is Tech Talk Now.
New AC from LA.
What's up, Sam? What's up,
Brother,
Sam?
brother. Man, I
Talk to me.
enjoyed. You were in your bag on this. You were in your bag on this. It is so important, man, that we invest in self. And our fitness journey is more than just the physical aspect of being fit, but it's the mental aspect of being fit. And when you do have a fitness plan and you do have a fitness routine, man, the endorphins that you get from that are so amazing. So I appreciate you for sharing this pertinent, important, timely information, man, of why we should, once again, when it comes to tech, why we should incorporate technology into our routine. And by having a virtual fitness plan, it can remove a lot of the excuses we have in terms of it's cold outside. I don't want to get up and go work out. There's so much stuff that you can do at home within your four walls in terms of working out. So great job. That's a phenomenal job, brother.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. So, all right. Well, that was Tech Talk Now, and this brings us to the finale. This is the crescendo. This is how we end every episode, and we're gonna go into the closeout, and we're gonna let good old Sam go first. Um, so let me cue up let me introduce you, and then we'll go ahead and
Get ready for the closeout.
New SG trilogy.
All right. So before we put it on a single cam, I want us to stay up on the double cam for this closeout.
all right. Let me give this to our listeners. So Roderick mentions that there's a good watch on Netflix. You Are What You Eat, a twin experiment. It's a great docuseries, according to Rod, and it's 4 episodes. So without knowing what happened, I'm assuming that you've got twins. One is eating well and one is not, and it's going to show you the difference in them. Or maybe they're just going to do slightly different diets, but they're definitely going to look differently, I'm sure. All right, what you got, Sam? Thanks, Rod.
All right. So cue up the music on the closeout, brother. But I want you to stay on this double shot for this closeout.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to Sam's music. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. So let me just get that. Let me get that feel. So man, as we close out this week, my closeout is something that, our closeouts are typically just our individual thought, and we're talking about what's going on in our mind. But as I sit here with you as my co-host, as my brother, as my friend, this closeout really makes me think about the importance of when you have a loved one, when you have someone who you can call a dear friend, when you have someone who you trust, we need to be able to give each other our flowers. And so, man, I wanted to close out with saying, for me, you're that guy that I know I can call on when I just need to talk, when we need to have some comedic banter, but when we just need to strategize life. And it might be some stuff that's going on in my head that I'm trying to process and work out. I know if it's one dependable person that I have as a friend and as a brother, I always can call upon you. So I wanted to make sure just to acknowledge when you have that person who's a loved one, who's someone you can confide in, who's someone who you can trust, let them know that you love them and let them know that you're also in exchange, you're there for them as well when they need you, because that's important. So that's my closeout for this week, man. Just letting you know, I appreciate you as my friend, as my brother, and I extend myself as your friend and your brother, man, to let you know I love you and I'm here for you, man, whenever you need anything.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. Wow. When you look at it's an interesting situation. Sam and I grew up in LA, and we didn't know each other growing up, and we've got mutual friends. We've got mutual friends that are not mutual friends. Like, that's the other thing. So we have mutual friends from different places who are not friends with one another, or let's say who weren't friends with one another until they met later down the line, like at school or something. And then I met Sam actually through his wife, and we immediately clicked, and we have just become brothers, as he stated. So the feeling is, I got goosebumps when you started talking. I still have them. I don't know if you can see them, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. And yes, you can reach out to me, you can call on me, and it's the same for me. Like, I know I can reach out to you, and we can talk through all of the things. And that's my signature phrase, all of the things we can, and what all that encompasses. And so I absolutely appreciate you also. And then for me, you guys know that I generally get really sentimental when it comes to the closeout. And, I want you, like Sam said, let the people that you love know that you love them. Give the people that you can their flowers, because you just never know. Well, you guys know my why. And if you don't, let me introduce you to her. This is my daughter, Kayla Sky Carter. And Daddy did her hair in this picture. I just want y'all to know I did her hair. And anybody who does hair professionally will have some problems that they can find with this. But I'm super impressed with what I did here. And this is Friday. This is yesterday before she went to school. And so I just want to say I love you, Kayla. And everybody, just let your people know that you love them and appreciate them, whether it's your brother Sam, your daughter Kayla, or other people in your family, other friends, other really important people. If a coworker is so important to you, let them know. Just let the people know you appreciate them. I didn't even get my music for the closeout, but it's okay. Listen, this has been episode 135 of the Collective Podcast. We had a ball today. We started an hour earlier. We got done in less than an hour, um, without rushing. We even, as Sam said, had a soap opera. So listen, thank you guys for coming through. We absolutely appreciate you. Um, and we hope to see you again, obviously, next week at the regular time for episode 136. And we may have some news soon about some other stuff. So we'll keep you apprised once there's something to keep you apprised of. Right now, we'll just keep you in suspense. Again, episode 135 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA. He is SG Trilogy. We absolutely appreciate you coming through, and we're out.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, hear a nigga down here.
Thank you, Rod. Thanks for coming through, Rod. Everybody that watched, thank you. Everybody listening, thank you. We appreciate you. Out.